Today we're talking about the Bitcoin-backed loan safety zone. So in this video, I'm going to give you a very clear roadmap for knowing, is this a good strategy for me? When is the right time to do it? How do I do it safely? Why would I want to do it? What would I use the money for? How do I pay it back? Who are some good lenders? And then I want to end up with a case study. So I'm going to be pretty thorough in this video. So you may want to save this to your watch later list and just use it as an ongoing reference as you're educating yourself about Bitcoin-backed loans. So let's start by talking about who this is for and who this is not for. So the first thing you want to do is determine whether you're in the capital growth phase or the income generation phase. And I'll define those here in just a second. You also want to just ask yourself, how long have you held Bitcoin? Have you held Bitcoin for at least 4 to 5 years? Are you in profit right now? It's not for you if you're I would say if you're still in the capital growth phase, and again, I'll go into detail into that, what that means. If you're kind of more of a gambler than you are an investor, if you've got a smaller Bitcoin stack that you've held for under 5 years, that you're not really understanding what this process sort of entails or how it actually works, and then it's definitely not for you if you think Bitcoin is going to zero. So determining your investment phase. So most Bitcoiners, especially if you've just gotten into Bitcoin in the past couple of years, you're probably still in the capital growth phase. This is where you're focusing on increasing your net worth, you're buying more Bitcoin, you're growing your overall nest egg, and you're harnessing Bitcoin's compounded annual growth rate as your savings account for the future when you want to reach financial independence. Who this is for really is when you've reached, the apex of your capital growth phase. In other words, for most of you guys that are pursuing financial independence, retire early, you've reached your FIRE number. So you've moved from just, preserving wealth and growing your net worth into generating income. So you're wanting to use Bitcoin as a nuclear reactor to generate your income. And that's when this is a great, sort of check the box moment. By the way, for Just Meeting, I'm Brad, and I'm on a mission to empower millennials and Gen X to integrate Bitcoin more deeply into their personal finances so they can reach financial independence in 10 years or less. So the good news about this strategy is that there is a bulletproof safety zone. There's a safe way to do this. I'm going to walk you through how, what that looks like. So the bulletproof safety zone is, I would say, beginning with, you never ever want to borrow against more than 10% of your overall Bitcoin stack. The lower the percentage, the better. So that's number one. Make sure that you never borrow against more than 10%, preferably a lower percentage than that. So an example would be if you have a half a Bitcoin, you never want to borrow against more than 0.05 Bitcoin. If you have 0.21 Bitcoin, and we talk a lot about 0.21 Bitcoin on this channel, you never want to borrow against more than 0.021 Bitcoin. And yes, that may mean that you need to wait for Bitcoin to appreciate some more, and that's totally okay. You may need to wait for it to appreciate some more. You may still be in the capital growth phase, and you may just need to keep buying more. And by the way, none of this is financial advice. You should never take financial advice from a dude talking to his camera in his office, right? So now let's talk about this concept of safe LTV or loan to value. So let's define that term because a lot of people don't know what it is. So loan to value is the percentage of fiat that you're borrowing to the Bitcoin that you're posting as collateral. So the normal loan to value that you'll see a lot of lenders sort of starting at is 50% loan to value. I would recommend that you also, like with your Bitcoin stack, you never want to, borrow against more than 10% of your entire stack. I would say with your loan to value, you want that to be lower as well. So you want that to be like maybe down around the 10 to maybe 30%. I'll walk through some examples of that here in just a second. So you want to make sure that your loan to value is as low as possible. And the reason for that is it helps you avoid being margin called and or liquidated. So let's look at what that looks like. So let's say, for example, you have, for the sake of assumption, we're going to go that, with the idea that one Bitcoin is worth $100,000. So in typical sort of loan situation, you're going to a lender and they're going to give you a 50% loan to value. Okay, so if Bitcoin is, at $100,000 per coin, you're posting one Bitcoin as collateral and you're getting a $50,000 loan against that. Now, you can see over here, the potential risk for that, especially in this drawdown that we just had recently, is that your liquidation price if Bitcoin goes down to 62,500, they're going to probably sell some of your Bitcoin to top you back up. And we'll talk about some strategies to make sure that doesn't happen, because there are ways that you can manage your loan as well. Whereas if you take, the same sort of stack and you borrow against a lower percentage of that. So let's say you take out your loan to value, instead of 50% up here, your loan to value is 15%. Okay, so you're taking out a $15,000 loan, and I know I can hear you guys in the comments, well, I can't live on $15,000. We're going to talk about all that in a minute. Just give me a second here. And then you can see also that safety zone increases because you also have, the Bitcoin would have to go down to $18,750 per coin in order for you to be liquidated. And again, there are ways for you to mitigate that risk. There are ways for you to manage the loan, and we'll get into that in a second. By the way, if you're getting value out of this, I would appreciate it if you would like, share, subscribe. YouTube tells me that only 16% of you guys that watch my videos are subscribed. It really does help the education mission of this channel. So another thing, people ask me constantly is be sure to use a reputable lender. I'm in the process of doing a research project on that I'll put out as a video. You want to understand that when you enter into a Bitcoin-backed loan, that you're temporarily, in most cases at this point, giving up or partially giving up custody of your private keys. Okay, so that's a really serious thing, and this is why I emphasize the safety zone being never more than 10% of your Bitcoin stack, and then keeping that loan to value, very, very low. Always remember the fundamentals. You hear this all the time. Not your keys, not your cheese. Don't trust verify. Use extreme caution and a very small percentage. And you never, ever want to gamble your entire stack. So I think I've made my point with that. So a lot of people also ask, well, why would I take out a loan? What would I use it for? So if you're in the income generation phase that I talked about a minute ago, you're in financial independence, retire early, or you're just retiring, you can use that for living expenses. So this is part of the buy, borrow, die strategy. And a lot of people will use their assets as collateral for loans that they can that they can then borrow against and live off of that. You can also, if you're still in the capital growth phase, for example, and you've got, an appreciable amount of Bitcoin to borrow against, you can buy more assets. You can buy more Bitcoin. You can buy more stocks, bonds, whatever it is that you want to buy, gold, silver, or you can just use it to buy something you want or need. Maybe it's a home or a car or a moped or a home improvement project, education expenses for your kids. Anything that you would normally take out a loan for is good for that. So I get that question a lot, which may be surprising to you guys, but people are always asking me like, well, why would I even take out a loan against my Bitcoin? So how to avoid liquidation. This is really, really important. So we talked about this a second ago, but you always want to be monitoring the Bitcoin price, and you always want to be, monitoring your loan. So you want to know your numbers. And so, plugging it into a spreadsheet like this helps you maintain your loan to value. So like, okay, cool. If Bitcoin's price dips below 20 grand, I'm going to need to do one or two things. I'm going to either need to add more Bitcoin collateral to the loan, or I'm going to need to pay more off of the loan. So let me know, what you guys think about that in the comments. Does that make sense? Am I explaining this too fast? Just, let me know in the comments, because, this is a process for me as well. So how do I repay the loan? There are basically three methods. This is a question I've been getting a lot in the comments as well. You can use active income. So this is your salary, freelance work, maybe business profits. You can also use it to buy more income producing assets. So maybe dividend stocks or, other types of assets, real estate, dividend stocks, yield platforms, which I would be very careful with that. Or method three is that where you can recollateralize the loan or roll the loan over. This is what's known as the infinite loop. So you're borrowing additional funds against the now larger Bitcoin position, because the assumption is Bitcoin is going to continue to appreciate in price over a long period. There are going to be violent dips. We know that. If you've been in a Bitcoin for at least a couple of years, you've seen, I'm an OG from 2013, so I've been through 4 or more massive, pullbacks. So, what a solid lender looks like. You want them to be reputable, have a known track record. understand the custody arrangement and the machinations of how to top up your loan or how to pay off additional, loan principal. Be clear about the liquidation zone terms and have a plan in place for that. And we'll do more content about that in the future. Understand the repayment and the rollover options, and just know also that I'm actively researching, a bevy of lenders to sort of do a side-by-side comparison. A lot of them, because a lot of you guys have been asking me about that. Who's a good lender? At this point, I don't know. I can't really make a recommendation. I know some of the big names in the business, like Ledden, have a really good reputation. So I wanted to go through a real life case study that I just went through with a client of mine recently. I offer 30-minute coaching, one-to-one coaching call sessions for people that are working through these kinds of questions. So Johan is 45 years old. I'm not doxing him. That's not his real name, but he has a wife and 4 kids. He's got a $5 million net worth. He's got 10 Bitcoin plus a bunch of other assets. So he's pursuing financial independence. He wants to do FIRE, and by the time he wants to retire by the time he's 50. He's doing great. His burn rate for his family right now is about $8,000 a month, or $96,000 a year. So using that one Bitcoin is worth $100,000. He could, if he wanted to post 2 Bitcoin at a 50% loan to value, that would cover his burn rate. And again, Bitcoin is about 20% of his overall net worth. So this is, so the options are, and I'll go into the spreadsheet here in just a second. So if he posted 2 Bitcoin at a 50% loan to value, he would be able to fund the operation. He would be able to fund his expenses, for the year. If he wanted to do a little bit more safely on the loan to value side of it, he could actually take 4 Bitcoin to post as collateral and take out a 25% loan to value and get that same $100,000. Or the other options would be, okay, he's not really looking to retire early and for another 5 years. So maybe he buys more Bitcoin, maybe he buys more assets, or maybe he uses other assets because he's got a $5 million portfolio and Bitcoin is just 20% of that. So there's a lot of wiggle room here. So again, looking at the, if he just what I covered a minute ago, if he's got a 50% loan to value, that's against 2 Bitcoin here. That's $100,000. His liquidation price of Bitcoin would be 62.5. So that is a little bit risky in my estimation. Whereas if he posted 4 Bitcoin as collateral, Bitcoin at $100,000, 25% loan to value, his liquidation rate would be much lower than that. Now, again, this goes back to, are you in the capital growth phase? Are you in the income generation phase? And so I want to know what you guys think. What did I miss? What would you recommend to Johan? Have I lost my mind in this whole pursuit of buy, borrow, die using Bitcoin-backed loans? Is this just totally crazy to you? So for me, what I sort of shared with Johan is that I think this is a not yet. I think that he needs to continue to crush it in the posture that he's in. He's well on his way. He could start doing that. For me, the big piece of that is, number one, Bitcoin's volatility. We have to factor that in all of these considerations. You have to consider Bitcoin's volatility. So I would say that this is a not yet. Also, I'm very uncomfortable that this would be 40% of his Bitcoin stack. So that would go against the recommendation of 10% of his stack. So arguably, in the next 3 to 5 years, his Bitcoin would be worth and valuable enough that he would be able to execute this strategy very, very, very comfortably. So yeah, again, for me, this would be a not yet. So just a quick checklist, I would say pour over this strategy diligently. That's why I said at the beginning, you may want to bookmark this or save this video to your watch later list and just kind of keep coming back to it as you're increasing your understanding of Bitcoin-backed loans. You want to know your numbers intimately. That's really the hallmark of all the wealthiest clients that I've ever worked with. And usually, my clients are millennials, Gen X, that are somewhere between, a $500,000 net worth, upwards of a $10 million net worth, where we're talking through, some of these strategies around buy, borrow, die, and some of the adjacent strategies that we talk about. Again, never risk more than 10% of your Bitcoin stack. If that means that you need to wait a little while or you need to get some more Bitcoin, that's totally fine. You want to monitor that loan. You want to understand how to top it up if you need to top it up, how to pay off more of it if you need to pay off more of it. And then your timing and posture, like I said, with the capital growth phase and the income generation phase is super super, super pivotal. By the way, a lot of you guys probably aren't aware that I have a 3-sentence micro newsletter aimed at millennials and Gen X that are trying to incorporate Bitcoin into their personal finances so they can get to financial independence in 10 years or less. It's about 3 times a week, all actionable content, no fluff, just 3 sentences. We also do a weekly live stream on Thursdays where we talk about Bitcoin personal finance, Dave Ramsey style, FIRE style, the buy, borrow, die strategy, self-custody, all the things. And then I open it up for a Q&A. So if you have a question, you can either post that in the comments below or just show up on Thursday and I'll be happy to answer your question live. A lot of our clients, one of the first things they do to incorporate Bitcoin more deeply is sign up for a free Gemini card or the Fold Visa debit card. Those are ways to start earning free sats for daily purchases. And then, like I mentioned a minute ago, if you have a situation that you want me to walk you through or that you just want another set of eyeballs on, or you're kind of working through this buy, borrow, die strategy or self-custody or any of those things, you can schedule a 30-minute call. We can kind of start there. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay, since you made it this far in the video, I wanted to offer 2 resources that will help you integrate Bitcoin more deeply into your personal finances. Number 1, Gemini's Orange Bitcoin MasterCard. You can earn up to 4% Bitcoin on everyday purchases like gas, dining, groceries, retail purchases. There's no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees, and no exchange fees on any of your rewards. Plus, if you sign up today using my link in the video description below, you get $200 in Bitcoin when you spend $3,000 in your first 90 days. The link is in the description and the comments below. Number 2, I'm also offering one-to-one calls to answer questions and to help you integrate Bitcoin into your personal finances more deeply, including traditional FIRE and Bitcoin planning, as well as Bitcoin self-custody. Link is in the video description below for that.